Mirrorland by Earthgang. After releasing 3 dope EPs, Earthgang has finally released their debut album, Mirrorland. Their aim was to make something that could rival The Wiz sonically. The goal is to take you to another world and create a cinematic musical experience filled with delectation and delight. Did Earthgang succeed? How do we feel about it? Here's our honest review of Mirrorland by Earthgang.
Earthgang, man, they had 3 EPs last year, man.
Yes.
Was looking forward to this album. It's finally here, man. How you feel about this album artwork?
It's cool. It's a little carnival-y, smoke and mirrors type of thing. But I like the duality that they're showing, kind of like a half and half on one side and another side, just to show that there's a little bit of difference between those guys, but they're pretty much like in the same world.
Yeah, I like the way you pointed that out, because for it to be so good and the symmetry on here is really good, but it's not 100% the same. Like you said, like you got a giraffe on one side, you got an elephant on another side, you got a brown car on one joint, you got a like tannish green, not a grayish green on right side. Yeah, it looks a different side at the time of the day on the left side, different time of the day on the right side. Like they killed the symmetry and the duality on this joint. That joint is fire. And it looks like a royal strip club smack dab in the middle of this joint.
Absolutely.
The flow of this joint, the vibe of this joint, man, I'm going to just go off of what they said. They said what they were trying to do is do like if Atlanta kind of had the Wiz theme, like soundtrack to it. And I thought that when I heard that, because when I heard the album the first time, the first things I was thinking was, Outkast, Janelle Monáe Wonderland, Outkast, Janelle Monáe Wonderland. But as soon as I read that they were trying to do the Wiz just on a hip hop musical thing, I was just like, got it.
That's what
I hear it. I hear it 100%. I see what y'all did. Y'all actually executed it pretty well. And I thought the vibe of that was actually pretty dope.
Yeah. I like the addition of like, when you mentioned that, I'm thinking like, you said there was horns. Now, I didn't see the movie. Yeah. So I have no idea what that sounds like.
It's super over the top. It's so good. I'll have to let you borrow it or something, man.
But there are some interesting sounds that you don't hear often in albums, which I thought was really interesting.
Highlights, man. Look, I got quite a few highlights on this joint. First, Lowlights Challenge is a great way to start it off. It just reminds me, if you've seen The Wizard of Oz or The Wiz, the way it opens up, they open up with this kind of like an introduction, and then it kind of turns into like a dance, happy celebration type party thing. And that's what Lala Challenge was. It was a little bit more serious at the beginning, but then towards the end, it kind of just turned into like cheery thing. Right. And then Up is so amp. I love that song. We had watched them do this on Color.
Yeah,
that joint was fire, and this song is fire. This is probably my favorite song on this project still.
Really?
To this day. Okay. Yeah. Top Down, man, it just feels like a really good song to listen to in the middle of the day while you're on the way to the strip club in the daytime. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Swivel was actually dope. That was on the Dreamville joint that we heard a couple weeks ago.
Yes, absolutely.
But that's still fire. Tequila featuring T-Pain. This joint feels 100% like a Wiz song. like you gotta see the movie, because the way they're playing the horns and everything like that, it sounds just like it. Trippin' featuring Kehlani is another joint that stands out to me, man. Yes. And then Stuck featuring Aaron Ray was super hot fire. Shout out to Wings too. I gotta say that.
Yeah, that was good. You named pretty much a lot of my tops. I think for me, The Bank was hard, man. I just like to kind of like, it feels like the baby could have been on Bank.
Yeah, it could have.
You know what I'm saying? And to me, like I'm a fan of Earthgang. So like hearing something with like The Bank is a different style that I hear from these guys. It just shows range, right? So that was a highlight for me. Proud of You with Young Thug. That song slaps, man.
Yeah.
I like Young Thug's, like, it's like he's coming back. He never left, but it feels like that, right? Tequila with T-Pain. T-Pain's a legend. Me seeing T-Pain on these type of tracks with these younger artists, it just makes me happy. I like to see my legends age well. Trippin'. Shout out to all the girls that have been tripping in my life. When I thought about that, it just really, to me, like, this song really sums up, like, why y'all tripping, and like how Kehlani sound on that was amazing. Stuck was another. I might as well say the whole list. You see where I'm going with this, right? Stuck was really good. It reminded me back in Florida with Love Bugs. I'm not sure you're familiar with those, but how they kind of like stuck together. Just that image just came to my mind. So like Fields was another interesting one. I know people probably do this, but the comparisons to Outkast. Yeah. You know, that's a no-brainer, right? I feel like Fields kind of gave me that Outkast feel, and just as a big Outkast fan, hearing Fields is like, yes, you know? Yeah. And I feel like they don't shy away from the fact that they have that Outkast feel, and I love that, you know? I was telling Ace about it. I was like, if Big Boy fell in love with Erykah Badu instead of Andre, to me that's Earthgang.
I like that, man.
You know what I'm saying? So those guys they're different, but they're like really close when it comes to the way they make the music. They have this fast, slow, like their style is just so dope to me. So those are my highlights, man. Yeah.
I'm rocking with that. Lowlights, man. Look, I don't really have a lowlight song on this joint. My problem lies in the lack of advertising I'm getting. Yeah. And the reason why I say that is if you don't hear that they were trying to create the Wiz, right, you're just going to think that they're trying to do what like Outkast or something like Janelle Monáe would do. Yeah. Because this is like, to me, that's what Earthgang sounds like. If you took Outkast, made them younger, and put them on Wonderland Records with Janelle Monáe, I feel like this is what you would get. Yes, it comes out, it sounds like a circus at times, but it sounds kind of hard at times, and like that's what you get from Janelle, and that's what I love about Earthgang. They're so different. Like you can hear, like you said, you can hear the Outkast baby roots inside of them.
Absolutely.
They're not straying away from it, especially Olu. Like you can definitely hear it.
Come on, man.
I can see people saying like, yo man, he remind me of a young Andre 3K. I can see it.
Those noises,
the way he does his voice, you know, the way he performs when he's performing these songs. Right. But I think that it needs more advertising, and people need to understand what this is about, because I can see a lot of people disregarding this whole project just because they're just like, yo, I ain't trying to hear that. Like, why would they do that? Why does this sound so happy? Like, you know, people be, you know, there's people that are like that. Like,
absolutely.
This is too happy for me. I ain't listening to this.
They gotta have bad ears. And the thing is, I'm with you with that, because I think they're a little upset about the delay on the album dropping.
Yeah, they were.
And it's kind of, we don't see a J. Cole on this. This is their debut, right?
Debut album, yeah.
So, like, me not seeing J. Cole on this is like, man, it's like, you know, hopefully it's all good. But it's like, man, I would like to have seen J. Cole on at least one song, you know.
I mean, I was okay without J. Cole being on the song. I mean, but he helped mix a lot of these records.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Nah, so he was in the studio with them while they were doing this.
Because the production on this was outstanding. Man, they did a really good job. Really good job.
Final thoughts, man. Look, like I said, man, Earthgang. Take not Erykah Badu. Take Janelle Monáe. Have her sign Outkast to her label. Mm-hmm. This is the project you're going to get. If you rock with Janelle Monáe and Outkast, you probably will rock with this.
Absolutely.
It's got some dope rhymes, some dope bars, some dope musical arrangements here. The production is top notch, just like, you know, like Bang Bang said. This joint is definitely a standout project for this year. I don't know if anybody is going to make an album that's this musical, like where it sounds this wide of a spectrum, you know, sonically. Yeah. You know, Lucky Day's album is really good sonically, but he's doing different style of music than this. This, like I said, this just like, they can play this album at a carnival.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, they did their thing, man. Shout out to those guys. I'm really happy they're getting, I feel like this right here, I feel like people are picking this up. You know, it hasn't been that much promotion for it. Because I think I came across it on accident. I was looking for something to listen to. And I was like, oh, shit, their project dropped? And listened to it through, and I kept wanting to go back to other songs, and then I'll hear a song and I'm like, man, this shit got kind of vibes, you know? Yeah. So through the whole project, it's a clean listen. So you can listen to every song and be happy with it.
Final grade, man. Look, this song is easy. I got to give it a check. This project is definitely a bop. It's got a different vibe to it. If you like any of those shows like The Wiz, The Wizard of Oz, like musicals, Rent, any of that stuff. Just give this a try. If you liked Outkast, give it a try, give it a listen.
Yeah.
You'll definitely like a good 5 or 6 songs on there. Like he said, T-Pain, he sounded really good. You got to remember T-Pain did something along these lines with his 3-ring circus where he kind of did like a circus vibe. So it was only right that they called on T-Pain, a legend. But yeah, this joint is a really good project, man, and I'm really happy that Earthgang was able to put together a dope album. I don't have to talk bad about it because it's great.
Yeah, that's all I'm happy for.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, man. I want to give it a super check, direct deposit, because they did their thing on this one, man. So really happy for these guys, and you can feel that whole Atlanta sound within these guys, and that's what I appreciate those guys so much for. So shout out.